This is Valley News Live at noon.
New at noon, jury selection is expected to begin tomorrow in the trial of a Fargo man charged with killing his then girlfriend in December 2020. Cody Plumlee is facing a laundry list of charges, including murder, aggravated assault, and robbery. Police responded to a call of a disturbance on December 7, 2020 in North Fargo. Officers say Plumlee and his girlfriend, Kristen Knaus, got in an argument over car keys. Witnesses told police Plumlee left and came back, and when he started banging on the door, he soon kicked it open. Court documents say Plumlee then shoved Knaus down a flight of stairs, which knocked her unconscious. After being on life support, she died later that same month. Documents say Plumlee told police he pushed Knaus because she hit him in the forehead with a frying pan. If convicted, Plumlee faces the rest of his life in prison. Also new at noon, Fargo police arrested 2 people after an early morning crash in South Fargo. Officials say Anna Wisk was driving westbound on 35th Avenue South just before 4 this morning when a car driven by James Miller slammed into her. The collision caused Wisk's car to smash into a tree in the median. Police say Wisk has minor injuries and was arrested for driving under the influence. Miller was arrested for felony reckless endangerment. It's a cool and breezy start to our work week, and changes are on the way. Let's get a check of the weather with Summer Schnellbach. Summer?
Thanks so much, JC. Yeah, you can see on that Skycam shot, it's shaking a little bit as the wind picks up. It's going to become increasingly windy throughout the day, with wind out of the southeast gusting between 30 and potentially to 40 miles per hour. And then starting tomorrow, another windy day, and rain will start to develop, some areas of mixed precipitation, before then transitioning to snow for a first alert weather day Wednesday. But first, let's take a look outside. That camera is shaking. Temperatures are warmer than we were this weekend. We're at 30 in Fargo and Grand Forks, 38 in Jamestown, still 26 in Bemidji, 30 in Fergus Falls, 34 in Devil's Lake. And that wind is whipping, increasingly gusty right now in eastern North Dakota, gusting to 38 miles per hour in Jamestown, 32 mile per hour gust in Devil's Lake, gusting to 35 in Fargo. And this is going to be the trend through the rest of the day. Your wind gust planner for today in Fargo only picking up as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon. And even in Fargo, we could see some of those gusts to 40 miles per hour. In eastern North Dakota, this is the Jamestown wind planner, closer to 40 miles per hour. So, JC, I packed the extra hairspray for us today for when we head out for lunch. We'll need it again tomorrow, but coming up after the break, a little later, I'll share that first alert weather day and what you need to know.
Thank you, Summer. Prospects for peace in Ukraine seem remote at the moment, especially for the millions of Ukrainians whose homes have been destroyed or who have been forced to leave the country. But peace talks are scheduled to resume soon as the White House works to clarify President Biden's unscripted remarks about Russian President Vladimir Putin staying in power. Reporter Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
With their ground offensive stalled, Russian forces continue to pour missiles and rockets into cities across Ukraine.
Every day, Putin and his generals, I don't even know whether we still call them soldiers because armed forces do not fight like this, demonstrate how little they value human lives.
In Kharkiv, residents cleared rubble from a school hit during a barrage of shelling. This man was one of the people seeking shelter in the school. He says this is a civilian structure. It's a school. They have not been able to take the city, so they decided to destroy it. A Russian delegation arrived in Turkey ahead of peace talks scheduled for Tuesday. But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has made it clear any deal must include Russian forces leaving all of Ukraine. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says talks could happen between Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin once the two sides are closer on some key issues. President Biden is downplaying comments he made over the weekend when he said Putin cannot remain in power.
Were you calling for regime change?
Secretary of State Antony Blinken worked to clean up the remarks during a stop in the Middle East.
We do not have a strategy of regime change in Russia or anywhere else for that matter.
Idaho Senator Jim Risch, the ranking Republican member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, called President Biden's comment a, quote, horrendous gaffe. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The Kremlin says it's not up to President Biden or any American to decide who will run the country, saying that it's up to voters in Russia to decide. And recovery crews found the second black box, the flight data recorder, yesterday from the wreckage of a China Eastern Airlines jet that crashed into a mountainside in southern China. There were 132 people on board when the plane plummeted last week when it should have started its landing descent. Officials announced that everyone on board has been confirmed dead. It was quite the scare for a family in Jacksonville over the weekend as a driver lost control of their car and crashed into a home. 3 people were injured, 2 in the car, and 1 a resident who was sitting in her front yard. Neighbors in the area say they could see the car swerving before it crashed. The 3 were transported to the hospital, but none of the injuries are reported to be life-threatening. And one more day at home, and then it's back to the classroom for students in Minneapolis. The 2-week-old teacher strike is over. The union voted to accept their new contract agreement with the district. Classes are set to resume tomorrow. With spring cleaning underway in some homes, a Fargo healthcare equipment recycling group is asking you to keep them in mind. Hero is hosting a clean up and clean out donation drive now through April 1st. The nonprofit helps fill a gap for medical equipment by offering affordable healthcare supplies for those in need. Coming up at noon, the slap heard around the world. We have details leading up to one of the most shocking Oscar moments. But next, we're tracking a new system that could bring in some snow later this week.